Hello, dear students. You are always most welcome to ask any questions. Stay updated, stay connected, communicate in the comments. I'm here always to help you. We are continuing crystallizing the skills or concepts of mechanics by solving the January paper 2025 this year. We are on question 3. We have to read the questions very well, step by step, as you'll be seeing now in the next few minutes. A particle P of mass 3m kilogram and a particle Q of mass m are at rest on a rough horizontal surface. Distance between P and Q is 1.4 meters as shown in the figure. An impulse of magnitude lambda Newton second is now applied to B in the direction PQ. So first we are on P now. It was at rest. After the impulse it's applied, the speed of P is 5 meters per second. Find lambda in terms of m. So directly we recognize that the question is talking about impulse and momentums and so on. By writing the formula, the impulse and bit first, we must remember a very important thing when I do for my best community of my students this year I ever teach. I remember I asked my students, if you will be summarizing this chapter in one word, what would you say? And the answer was direction. We start these questions with direction. So the positive direction, as he said, in the direction of PQ. So the impulse is here, it's the direction. So you stay the direction, the positive direction for the whole question. Step 2, you show yourself and the examiner to make sure that you get the full mark in each part, what or which particle you are discussing or writing the situation of motion. Particle P. So the impulse on P is the mass of P times the final velocity of P minus initial velocity. You are given the question, in the question the impulse is lambda, the mass of P is 3m. Notation is very important. It will help and make the question faster to get the right answer is simpler and faster. V at P, which is 5, it was at rest. This gives that lambda in terms of m is 15 m. This is part A. Writing the particle we are writing the equation on, it will help yourself and the examiner to understand what are you doing. Immediately before P collides Q. So here we recognize that we are talking about collisions now. The speed of P is 2.5 meters per second. The coefficient of friction between P and the surface is mu. This is well known to us as mechanics M1 students. Find the value of mu. Best way, guys, to start this, we have to recognize which equation that finds mu. Since he said the key word here, so you are reading the question in another way. So, and no force is mentioned in this question. What would this tell? That only one force acting on this particle, which is particle B in this question, which is friction only in this direction. Opposing, because P is colliding Q in this direction. So we have only force. So the force or the equation of motion that we may find the mu by is friction equals ma, and this means that the direction, the acceleration will be negative. The particle p will be decelerating. To find mu, you have to find friction first and the acceleration. Then what we look at what we are given. Now this particle p was 5 before it moves towards q or collides q. So now here u is 5 and v is 2.5 meter per second. And when he says p collides q, means p reached q. So this distance was crossed. So the distance pq is 1.4. Then we remember what we are given. So we are given UVS. We want A. We have to find A to find the first component or element of the equation of motion, to proceed here to find the mu. This is the plan to get the 7 marks. Then I have to remember next step, what formula that, the fastest formula, easiest, that contains UV from the SOVAT formulas, which is V squared equals U squared plus 2AS. V is given, U is given, A that we want, S is given. By simplifying this simple equation, you'll get 6.25 equals 25 plus 20, 2.8A. Getting A equals negative 6.7 meter per second squared. Since the friction, dear students, because we are calculating now magnitudes, is a resistance force, as this is well known to us. So by writing now the friction, and this is minus 6.7, getting the magnitude of friction equals 6.7 m. Simply, clearly like this. To find the mu, you have to remember now that friction equals mu r. Remember this algebraic relationship or formula that relates friction with the reaction force. On particle P, which is in the question. I will do it here for you. This is a 3m, which is P, R perpendicular to the horizontal, equal to the weight of the particle. So this will give that friction equals mu times 3 mg newtons. By substituting Fr in this equation, you will be getting 3 m mu g equals to 6.7 times m. Sorry, times 3m. Which is the mass of the particle, 3m particle P. By simplifying the equation, 3 with 3, m with m-like terms, getting that mu is equal to 6.7 divided by g, which is 6.7 divided by 9.8, getting mu equals 0.68. 7 marks are deserved. Again, to remind you, as usual I do, if I'm speed, you have gap, communicate in the comments. I'll be responding to your comments. But because I will be doing variant past papers, more variant difficult questions in not random past papers, so the ideas will be more crystallized and clarified. So stay updated to the channel, subscribe, recommend it to others. You'll be enjoying M1 with fun and easy. Part C, which is the last part, immediately after P collides Q. So part C now. Let me just organize. Part C, P now collides Q. All right, what happened? The speed of Q now is 2.1. Better before you solve anything, even before you write the question and read. Find the speed of P immediately after the collision. Sketch the information again. So now what happened now? This is P, this is Q. So we have now 2.5, which is U of P before it collides, V of P that he wants, Q, U of Q was 0 before collision, and he told us in the question that V of Q is 2.1 meter per second. What formula or what equation that solves finding the unknowns in this? The law of conservation of momentums, which is write better the elements of the equation relevant to what you are given. What do you mean, sir? MQ, MP, UP, not M1, U1. It's okay, not wrong, but this will help you faster to find, to substitute the values correctly and fast. Plus V, U, Q, M of Q, V of P, M of P, plus V of Q, M of Q, which is M1, U1, plus M2, U2. That memorize it, but here it will be step 2, which is the most important. Show, even you know, show the direction. And every speed now will be set in this direction. This is the positive direction. Then we will discuss V at the end. So MP is 3M, U of P is 2.5, plus U of Q, which is 0, equals to V of P that he wants. Write it V now. M of P is 3M. V of Q, he told us 2.1, and M of Q is just M. By simplifying this question, you will get 7.5 M equals 3 MV plus 2.1 M. We notice fast that M is common factor in both terms. So this will lead to 7.5 equals 3V plus 2.1. Solving this for B, 3V equals 5.4. So V equals 1.8 meter per second. Of course, because before we wishing you a good day and good luck for your exams, for your life, for all dimensions of your life, we may state the direction in many ways here. But the best way, we state the direction consistent with what the question says. Because here, even the mark scheme, to be honest and professional, is weak in this. He put plus minus everywhere. It's confusing. Plus minus here. Better to write the information and write the steps of solution consistent. P is here located towards the Q in the direction of PQ. The impulse is this. So U of P was positive. So put it positive without any minimum of confusion. Wishing you best of luck. Wait and stay updated for question 4, finishing this paper and other papers, leaving you with well and safe.